Yo, what's up? So listen, I totally bombed that test yesterday. Like, I studied my butt off, but it was brutal. I'm so bummed. Anyway, wanna grab some grub later? I'm starving. If you understood all of that, congrats. You know your slang? If not, don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll understand and use everyday informal English like a native speaker. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to Learn English 2 podcast. I'm super excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about something that textbooks don't teach you. Slang and informal English. You know, the real language that native speakers actually use in everyday conversations. If you've ever watched an English movie or TV show and thought, wait, I know all these words separately, but I have no idea what they're saying, that's because they're using slang. And here's the thing. Slang makes you sound natural, confident, and fluent. It helps you connect with native speakers on a deeper level. But you need to know when and how to use it appropriately. That's exactly what we're covering today. I'll teach you over 30 common slang expressions, show you how to use them in real conversations, and give you fun challenges to practice. By the end of this episode, you'll be speaking English like you grew up with it. So get comfortable, grab your headphones, and let's learn some real English. Ready? Let's go! Category 1. Greetings and reactions. All right. Let's start with the basics. How native speakers actually greet each other and react in conversations. Forget, hello, how are you doing today? That's fine for formal situations. But in casual settings, native speakers use completely different expressions. Let me teach you the most common ones. First up, what's up? This is probably the most common casual greeting in American English. It literally means, what's happening? Or how are you? But here's the trick. You don't actually need to answer with details. Most people just say not much or hey, or even what's up? Right back. It's more of a greeting than a real question. For example, you walk into a room and your friend says, hey, what's up? You can just say, hey, not much you. Super casual, super natural. In British English, you might hear all right or you all right? Instead, same idea. It's a greeting, not a genuine question about your well-being. Next, how's it going? This is another casual version of how are you? You can respond with good or pretty good or not bad. Native speakers love to say not bad, even when things are actually pretty good. It's an understated way of being positive. Very British, but Americans use it too. Now let's talk about reactions. When something surprises you or excites you, native speakers don't usually say, oh, that's very surprising. They say, no way. This expresses disbelief or excitement. For example, your friend tells you, I just won $1,000. You'd say, no way. That's awesome. Or if someone tells you something you don't believe, like I met Brad Pitt yesterday, you'd say, no way. Really? It shows you're shocked. Another super common reaction is, for real. This means, are you serious? Or is that true? It's very casual. Imagine your friend says, I'm moving to Japan next month. You'd say, for real? That's so cool. Or even shorter, just for real, with a surprised tone. Young people especially use this constantly. Here's a fun one. That's sick. Now, this doesn't mean something is disgusting or related to illness. In modern slang, sick means awesome, amazing, or really cool. If your friend shows you their new skateboard, you'd say, whoa, that's sick. Or if someone does something impressive, dude, that trick was sick. This is very popular with younger generations. However, be careful. Older people or informal situations don't use this. They might actually think you mean something is gross, Similar to sick, you'll hear that's dope. Dope also means cool or awesome. Your new haircut is dope. Or, that concert was so dope. Again, this is casual slang, so use it with friends, not in job interviews. Now, when you agree with someone strongly, native speakers say, for sure, instead of yes, definitely. For example, want to get coffee later? For sure. Or, that movie was amazing, right? For sure, I loved it. It's enthusiastic and natural. And here's one that confuses learners. I'm down. This doesn't mean you're sad or on the ground. It means I'm interested or I agree to that plan. If someone asks, want to go to the beach this weekend? You'd say, yeah, I'm down. It shows you're enthusiastic about the idea. You can also say, I'm down for that, or I'm so down. Let's practice. Imagine your friend says, hey, want to check out that new pizza place tonight? How would you respond using slang? You could say, yeah, I'm down. What time? Or for sure. I've heard it's really good. See how natural that sounds? One more reaction. Oh my God. Or shortened to OMG. This expresses surprise, excitement, or shock. You'll hear this constantly, especially from women and younger people. OMG, I can't believe you're here. Or oh my God, that's hilarious. It's very expressive and emotional. In British English, some people say, oh my days, which is similar. All right, so let's review this category quickly. For greetings, we have what's up? And how's it going? And all right? For reactions, we learned no way. For real? And that's sick. So that's dope. For sure. I'm down. And OMG. These are essential for sounding natural in casual conversations. Category 2. Describing people now. Let's move on to how native speakers describe people using slang. This is super useful because you'll hear these expressions all the time in movies, TV shows, and everyday conversations. First, let's talk about describing someone who's acting strangely or annoyingly. Native speakers say, that guy is weird or she's being weird. Weird means strange, odd, or unusual. But if someone is really strange in a negative way, you might hear, he's a creep, or that's creepy. Creep means someone who makes you uncomfortable, often in a suspicious or inappropriate way. For example, that guy kept staring at me on the bus. So creepy. This is important vocabulary for talking about people who make you feel unsafe. Now, positive descriptions. If someone is really cool, fun, and easy to get along with, native speakers say, she's chill, or he's a chill guy. Chill means relaxed and easygoing. I love hanging out with Mike, he's so chill. You can also use it for situations. That party was really chill, means it was relaxed and comfortable, not wild or stressful. If someone is really smart or knowledgeable about something, you might call them a nerd or geek. Now, these used to be insults, but nowadays they're often positive or neutral. He's such a computer geek just means he knows a lot about computers and loves technology. She's a total book nerd means she loves reading. People often proudly call themselves nerds now. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd means I love Star Wars a lot. Here's a British one. If someone is being silly or foolish, British people say, don't be daft. Daft means silly or stupid, but in a lighthearted way. That's a daft idea, or you're daft. Americans don't really use this word, but you'll hear it constantly in British English. Now, if someone is really attractive, there are lots of slang words. She's hot, or he's hot is the most common. This is very casual and can be considered disrespectful in some contexts, so be careful. Among friends, it's normal, but don't say it to someone's face unless you know them well. Another one is cute, which is gentler. He's really cute, or she's so cute. This is more about being attractive in a sweet, charming way. If someone is showing off or acting too confident, Americans say he's cocky or she's full of herself. Cocky means arrogantly confident. That guy is so cocky. He thinks he's better than everyone. Or if someone is bragging a lot, you might say, stop showing off. Or he's such a show-off. Now here's an interesting one. If someone is really authentic and genuine, you might say, she's real, or he keeps it real. This means they're honest, and don't pretend to be someone they're not. I love Sarah. She's so real, no fake stuff about her. This is a compliment. And if someone has a lot of confidence and charisma, especially in romantic situations, native speakers say they have game. For example, wow, he's got game. Means he's smooth and charming with people he's attracted to. Or if someone has no confidence, you might joke, he's got no game at all. Let's practice. How would you describe your best friend using slang? You might say, my best friend is super chill. She's really smart, kind of a nerd actually, but in a good way. And she's always real with me. No fake drama? See how natural that sounds? That's the kind of English native speakers use. Category 3, situations and feelings. All right, now let's learn how to describe situations and feelings using everyday slang. This is where you'll really start sounding like a native speaker. Let's start with describing something difficult or unpleasant. If something is really hard or challenging, native speakers say, this is tough, or that's rough. Tough means difficult. That exam was so tough. Rough means unpleasant or difficult in an unfortunate way. If your friend tells you they lost their job, you'd say, oh man, that's rough. I'm sorry. It shows sympathy. Now, if something is extremely difficult or intense, you'll hear that's brutal. Brutal means harsh or severe. The workout today was brutal. Or, that test was absolutely brutal. And if you completely failed at something, you can say, I bombed it. Bomb means to fail badly. How was your presentation? Ugh, I totally bombed it. It was terrible. This is a very common slang for describing failure. Here's a positive one. If something exceeds your expectations or is really impressive, you can say, this is legit. Legit is short for legitimate, but in slang, it means genuine, real, or really good. This pizza is legit delicious. Or, that movie was legit one of the best I've seen. Young people use this all the time. Now let's talk about being tired. Instead of saying, I'm very tired, native speakers have tons of slang options. I'm exhausted is the formal version, but casually you'd say, I'm beat, or I'm wiped out, or even I'm dead. For example, I'm so dead. I only got 3 hours of sleep. Or, I'm completely wiped out from that hike. These all mean extremely tired. When you're really hungry, instead of just saying, I'm hungry, native speakers exaggerate. I'm starving. Or, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. The horse one is an idiom meaning you're extremely hungry. Or you might say, I'm dying of hunger. Obviously, you're not literally dying, but it emphasizes how hungry you feel. Here's a great one for describing stress or being overwhelmed. I'm swamped. Swamped means you have too much work or too many responsibilities. Sorry, I can't hang out tonight. I'm totally swamped with homework. Or, I'm drowning in work uses a similar metaphor. You're so busy it feels like you're underwater. Now, when you're really excited about something, you can say, I'm pumped, or I'm stoked. Both mean extremely excited and enthusiastic. I'm so pumped for the concert tomorrow, or I'm stoked about the new job. Very energetic and positive. But if you're disappointed or sad about something, native speakers say, I'm bummed, or that's a bummer. Bummed means disappointed. I'm so bummed I missed the party, or it's raining. Ah, that's such a bummer. It's a casual, lighthearted way to express disappointment. Here's another feeling. When something is awkward or uncomfortable, you can just say awkward. Imagine you wave at someone, but they were waving at the person behind you. You'd laugh and say, oops, awkward? It acknowledges an uncomfortable social moment. And when you're really annoyed or frustrated, native speakers say, I'm pissed in American English. This means angry or annoyed. I'm so pissed. They canceled my flight. In British English, pissed actually means drunk, so be careful. If a British person says, I was pissed last night, they mean they were intoxicated, not angry. For angry, British people say, I'm gutted when they're disappointed, or I'm mad when they're angry. Let's talk about describing situations now. If a situation is chaotic or out of control, you might hear, it's a mess, or what a disaster. For example, the party got out of control. It was a total mess. Or if something goes wrong, the presentation was a disaster. The computer crashed. But if something is really fun and exciting, you can say, that's a blast. Blast means a lot of fun. The party last night was a blast. Or, I had a blast hanging out with you. Very positive and enthusiastic. And here's a useful one. When something is not a big deal or not worth worrying about, native speakers say, it's no biggie, or no worries. For example, someone apologizes for being late and you say, no worries. Don't stress about it. Or it's no biggie, really. This shows you're easygoing and not upset. Quick practice. Describe your day using slang. You might say, today was brutal. I was so swamped with work. I'm completely wiped out now. But I'm stoked because it's Friday tomorrow. See? That sounds so natural. Category 4. Money and food slang. Now let's learn some slang related to money and food. These topics come up constantly in everyday conversation, so this vocabulary is super practical. Starting with money. Instead of saying dollars, native speakers have lots of slang terms. In American English, you might hear bucks. That shirt cost me $20 means $20. Or, can you lend me a few bucks? This is very casual and common. British people say quid instead of pounds. That cost me 50 quid. Same idea. If something is very expensive, you can say, that's pricey. Or that's steep. For example, $100 for a t-shirt? That's so steep. Or, this restaurant is pretty pricey. It means costly or expensive. On the flip side, if something is inexpensive, you can say, that's cheap. But be careful, because cheap can also mean low quality. A better option is, that's a good deal. Or what a steal. Steal means an amazing price. I got these shoes for $10. What a steal. Or these tickets were such a good deal. If you don't have money, native speakers say, I'm broke. Broke means having no money. I can't go out tonight. I'm totally broke until payday. Or, I'm flat broke, emphasizes you have zero money. You can also say, I'm strapped for cash, which means you're short on money temporarily. Now, when you're spending a lot of money, especially more than you should, you can say, I'm splurging. Splurge means to spend money freely on something you want. I'm splurging on a nice dinner tonight. Or I splurged on a new phone. It's treating yourself. And if someone is very wealthy, slang terms include loaded, rolling in it, or filthy rich. All of these mean extremely wealthy. His family is loaded. They own like 5 houses. Or she's rolling in it. Must be nice. These are casual, sometimes slightly envious ways to describe rich people. Now let's move to food slang. Instead of just saying food, native speakers use informal words. Grub is very common. Let's grab some grub means, let's get some food. Or, wanna get food? Might become, want to grab a bite? A bite means a small meal or snack. If you're eating at home or ordering delivery instead of going to a restaurant, Americans say, let's just stay in and munch, or I'm gonna munch on some snacks. Munch means to eat, especially snacks. Or you might say, I'm just gonna chow down, which means eat heartily. I'm starving. Let's chow down. Here's a British one. If food is really delicious, British people say, this is lovely, or scrummy. Americans don't say scrummy, but you might hear, this is bomb, or this is fire. Both mean extremely delicious. These tacos are fire, or this pizza is bomb. Very enthusiastic praise for the food. If you eat a large meal, you might say, I pigged out. Pigging out means to eat a lot, maybe too much. I totally pigged out at Thanksgiving. I'm so full. Or, we pigged out on pizza and wings last night. It's admitting you ate more than you should have. And when you're so full you can't eat anymore, native speakers say, I'm stuffed. This means completely full. No thanks, I can't eat another bite. I'm absolutely stuffed. Or, I'm so full I might explode. Obviously an exaggeration, but it emphasizes how full you are. Here's a fun phrase. If someone eats your food without asking, you might playfully say, hey, stop mooching. Or don't mooch my fries. Mooch means to take something from someone without giving anything back. It's usually said jokingly between friends. Now, when you're going to buy alcohol, Americans casually say, I'm gonna grab some booze, or do we have any beers? Booze is informal for alcohol. Or if someone drinks a lot, you might say, he can really put them away, which means he drinks a lot of alcohol. And finally, coffee slang. Instead of I need coffee, you might hear, I need my caffeine fix. Or I'm dying for a cup of Joe. Joe is an old slang term for coffee. Or you might say, let's get some Java, where Java also means coffee. These are a bit old-fashioned but still used. Let's practice a conversation using money and food slang. Imagine you're texting a friend. Hey, wanna grab some grub? I'm starving. Friend replies, yeah, where? You say, that new burger place? I heard it's a bomb. Friend says, isn't it kind of pricey though? You say, nah, it's not too bad. Like $15 for a burger? Friend says, cool, I'm down. But I'm broke, so I can't splurge too much. See how natural that sounds? That's real English. Practice challenge. Real conversations, all right. Now it's time to test your slang skills. I'm going to play 5 short conversations using lots of the slang we've learned. Your challenge is to understand what's happening in each conversation. After each one, I'll ask you a question. Ready? Let's do this. Challenge 1, hey! What's up? Not much. Just chilling. You want to grab some grub later? I'm starving. Yeah, for sure. Where were you thinking? That new Thai place. I heard it's legit. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to try that. What time? Like 7? Works for me. I'm so down. Question, what are they planning to do? If you said get food together or go to a Thai restaurant, you're correct. They're making dinner plans.
Give yourself a point!
Challenge 2. Dude, I totally bombed that math test. No way, I thought you studied like crazy. I did. I studied my butt off, but it was brutal. The problems were so hard. Aw man, that's rough. I'm sorry. Thanks. I'm pretty bummed about it. Well, there's always the final to bring your grade up. True, I just need to not stress about it. Question. How did the person do on the test? If you said they failed or they did badly, perfect. Another point for you. Challenge 3. Oh my God, guess what? What? I just got the job. No way. For real? Yes. They called me this morning. That's sick. Congrats. I'm so stoked for you. Thanks. I'm so pumped. When do you start? Next Monday? That's so dope. We should celebrate? Yes. Let's go out this weekend. Question. What's the good news? If you said she got a job or she was hired, excellent. You're doing great. Challenge 4. Can you lend me $20? I'm totally broke. Again? What happened to your paycheck? I splurged on concert tickets. They were pricey, but so worth it. Dude, you gotta save some money. I know. But it's Taylor Swift. Fair enough. Okay, I'll lend you the money, but you owe me. Thanks, you're the best. I'll pay you back on Friday, I promise. Question. Why does the person need money? If you said because they spent all their money on concert tickets or they're broke, you got it. Another point? Challenge 5. This pizza is fire, right? I told you this place is legit. I'm so glad you brought me here. I'm pigging out. Same. I'm gonna be so stuffed, but I don't even care. Should we get dessert? Are you kidding? I can barely move. Come on. Let's share something. Okay, fine, but you're paying. Deal. Question. What do they think of the pizza? If you said they love it or they think it's delicious, perfect. You nailed it. How did you do? If you got 4 or 5 correct, that's amazing. You really understand slang now. If you got 2 or 3, that's still really good. You're learning. And if you only got 1 or 0, don't worry at all. Slang takes time and practice. The important thing is you're exposing yourself to real English. Now let's do one more challenge. I'm going to have a longer conversation, and you try to count how many slang words and phrases you hear. Ready? What's up? Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. Just been super swamped with work lately. I'm so wiped out. Oh man, that's rough. You need a break. I know, right? Want to grab a bite tonight? Yeah, I'm down. Where? That burger place on 5th Street? I heard it's a bomb. For sure, I'm starving. I could eat a horse. Ha, same. What time? Like 8? Cool, works for me. By the way, did you hear about Sarah's new job? No way. She got it? Yup. She's so stoked. That's sick. Good for her, I know. We should celebrate with her this weekend. Totally, I'm so broke though. I splurged on new shoes. Ugh, same. But it's fine. We'll find something cheap. Sounds good. All right, see you at 8. Later. How many slang expressions did you count? Let me tell you. What's up? How's it going? Swamped, wiped out, rough, I know, right? Grab a bite, I'm down, bomb for sure. Starving, could eat a horse, no way. Stoked, sick, good for her. Totally. Broke, splurged, cheap. Later. That's over 20 slang expressions in one short conversation. This is how native speakers really talk with their friends. Wow, we covered so much today. Let's quickly recap the main categories. First, we learned greetings and reactions like, what's up? No way. For real? That's sick. And I'm down. Then we learned how to describe people using slang like chill, creep, nerd. and he's got game. After that, we covered situations and feelings, including brutal, bombed it, legit, swamped, pumped, and bummed. Finally, we learned money and food slang like bucks, broke, splurge, grub, chow down, and fire. Now here are my top 3 tips for using slang correctly. Tip number 1. Always consider the context. Slang is casual, so it's perfect for friends, social media, and informal situations. But don't use it in job interviews, formal emails, or with people you don't know well. You need to code switch between formal and informal English. Tip number 2. Pay attention to age and culture. Some slang is used more by young people, and slang can be different between American, British, and Australian English. If you're not sure, listen to how native speakers around you use it first. And tip number 3, don't overdo it. Using too much slang can sound forced or like you're trying too hard. Mix slang naturally with regular vocabulary. The goal is to sound natural, not like a walking slang dictionary. Remember, slang changes over time. What's cool today might be outdated in a few years. So keep exposing yourself to modern English through movies, TV shows, podcasts, and conversations with native speakers. The more you listen, the more natural your slang usage will become. All right, my friend, we've reached the end of today's episode. I really hope you learned a ton of useful, practical slang that you can start using immediately. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post new English lessons every single day, covering speaking, listening, vocabulary, grammar, and more. You don't want to miss out. Also, smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode. It helps other English learners discover this content, and it lets me know you want more lessons like this. Now here's your homework. In the comments below, I want you to write a sentence using at least 3 slang words or phrases we learned today. For example, you could write, "I'm so pumped for the weekend. I'm gonna grab some grub with friends. It's gonna be a blast." See? Use your new slang. I read every single comment, and I'll reply to as many as I can. I love seeing you practice. If you want to dive deeper into real English, check out our other episodes on phrasal verbs, idioms, and common English mistakes. There's so much good content waiting for you. And if you're serious about becoming fluent, consider joining our membership program, where you get access to bonus materials, downloadable PDFs, and exclusive practice sessions. Before you go, let me leave you with this. Learning slang isn't just about memorizing words. It's about understanding culture, connecting with people, and expressing yourself naturally. When you use slang appropriately, you're showing that you understand not just the English language, but English-speaking culture too. That's powerful! So don't be afraid to practice, make mistakes, and experiment with new expressions. That's how you truly become fluent. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'm so proud of you for investing in your English skills. Remember, every episode you watch, every word you learn, every sentence you practice brings you one step closer to fluency. You've got this. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep having fun with English. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay awesome and keep speaking real English. Peace out!